Hi guys, today I want to show you how to use our new tools here to create a flange and bend plate here. And here is very easy to use handy tools here that you may useful. It may be useful for you. And first is actually after you download the plugin from our website, and then you have type flange A command here. And then you can choose, this is actually the parameter that you can choose height, bend angles, radius, and this is height datum and bend position, and you can check and delete the original model here. So this is actually, the parameters height, datum, and bend position is pretty much standard definition for sheet metal design. There are a lot of descriptions, there are detailed descriptions how to use it here. Basically, it's just used to define the baseline for the flange height relative to thickness, and then relative to the original shape of the plate here. So this is actually click OK, and then you click here, and then you can decide this is actually the shape you want here. And if flange A, for example, you can choose adjacent, for example, here, and click OK. This is basically attached to the plate here, right? So this is actually the plate here you created, and then certainly you can just choose a different angle here, right? So and for example, you can choose 45 degrees here, and then I should notice that the edge that you select, you decided the where the flange going to be created, which side. For example, you click on this side here, and then they will create bend on the downwards here, right? So, and you can choose different direction here. And this is actually there's many other options here, and you can, this is actually a combination that you can define any shape you want here for the flange. And this is actually the flange type A parameters, and then called the flange type B parameters. That flange B, and this is actually the flange with the relief shape, right? So this is actually that you can similarly create in the flange type A, but you have started from the offset from end and starting point here, and then the relief size and the shape. For example, this is square, and when you click here, and then they will ask you to create, this is actually the edge, but you have to define the starting point here, and then they will create this shape for you here. And you can just delete this one here to create another one here, B, and define the inside here, and then this time we define as a round here. So, and this is similarly like that. You create, this is actually the shape A, and then you see here, this is actually the round shape here. So it's very handy that if you need them to create the plate here, create flange on the plate here. So this is actually, and if you just you don't need any relief here, you can choose tier, and then there will not really any relief shape, right? So this is actually, you see here, there's no relief shape, right? So depends on what you need here. So this is actually called then the flange type B. And then there's another one here that we call the bend plate here. So for example, you have the plate here, you have the bend line here, and then you want to have bend the plate here, and then you have to select then the edge here, right? And then you select the bend line here, right? So, and then they will bend for you here, right? So, and create then the shape for you here. And certainly you can just bend a bend plate here, bend plate, and then you can you can use, for example, 90-degree here. Here is actually then the center line here. There's an end and starting point here. Basically, it just then the line where you bend refers to this line, relative to this line, and then where you're going to bend. And the key factor is actually is the factor that when you use to bend the plate here, right? So basically, if you bend the shape and then you flat it here, and then the key factor is actually then the length will be used to calculate the length of the total the flatted plate, total length of the flat plate here. So, and this is actually the parameter that you can adjust here based on your need here. So this is actually this one here, and then you just choose the bend line here, and then they'll create that for you here. It's handy, it's easy to use here. So hope that you like it. You have free to try. You have 5 days to try these new mini tools here. And if you have any question, please send us email. Thank you. Bye.